Are we live? Are we live?
It says we are.
The great unknown. Oh, you know what? I better go back to not 100 not out, and then that will tell me if we're live or not.
Yeah.
100 not out. Give me a 100 not out
Yeah,
is
got it.
live.
Yeah, got it.
You got it?
Yeah. Got
You
it.
get everything. Oh, yeah, there we go. Live now. I get I got these notifications. Hi, Facebook, by the way.
Yeah. Hi, Facebook. Hi,
I've
everybody.
got notifications from the top that are 6 hours old, 3 hours old, 7 hours old, 5 hours old, and then just now. Why is the just now notification fifth in line behind older notifications?
Maybe your algorithm is that you prefer older things and older people. Aging. You like aging stuff. You like getting old.
I like aging notifications. Hi, Wendy. Hello, Heidi.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
I
lovely.
love it.
This is lovely.
This
is going to be a
floats
great
my
chat
boat.
today.
Love when people are here to watch with us.
I know. I know. You just feel so loved up,
I know
don't
that
you?
Mum's not signed in to Facebook right now, but we'll say hi to Mum because I know she's watching, but she's not signed in.
Oh, good on you, Tess. Good on you, Tess. Good to have Tess with us.
Yeah, 100%.
As part of 100 Not Out. So we've got 504 coming out on Monday. So this will be 505. Gee whiz, 500 was a while ago now.
Whew, it's like a year ago.
Unbelievable. All right. Let's get to it then, because we're going to do a
Zaparis.
we'll just do one on Facebook today, and then we'll do Zaparis. All right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Shall we dance?
Let's do it. I'm ready to go when you are.
Here we go. Facebook. I better hit record.
Cara Viney. No more Cara Henstridge.
Cara Viney.
Cara.
2 weeks in a row now. This is great.
Cara
Good on
Viney.
you, Cara.
No more Cara Hump.
right.
Humph.
Is that Mitch and Cara?
Mitch
is
and
that
Cara.
the married?
Yeah.
Is that the newlyweds?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, newlyweds.
Congratulations, Cara.
Absolutely.
That is so good. Oh, I love newlywed. I just love that time.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
Same.
Have they been on their honeymoon yet, or are they doing it later?
I don't know. They'll tell us.
Don't they come into Vita? Aren't
Yeah,
they like...
but normally I would see them.
Surely you would know.
Yeah, I haven't seen them for a week or two, so they must be on your honeymoon. Where are you guys? Maybe they're on their honeymoon.
We need to know. We're living vicariously through you guys.
Great photos. I've got to say, I have seen some
I love
photos.
that.
I've seen photos. What a good-looking wedding.
You've seen some photos?
Yeah, and
I
even their
just
dogs
realised
are good-looking.
I haven't...
They're ridiculous.
So
The dogs are good-looking.
Hey,
They're
can you
good-looking.
record this? Because
Unbelievable.
I've just realised that I still haven't updated my Skype call recorder since last week when I realised the same thing.
Aha.
Cara's booking in her appointment now. There you go.
There you go. Nothing like a bit of Facebook pressure.
You'll find out all the news.
Here we go.
Um,
I'm gonna
That's why you do 100 Not Out on Facebook, isn't it? So your Vita members book in for their
book
appointments.
your appointments. All right.
Now I know your operation. I know your motive.
All right, I'm recording.
Alrighty.
We're recording.
Okay,
Hang
so
on,
you're
we'll
happy
just-
to record?
Yeah, it's recording.
Thank you.
It's just it's saying starting recordings. Don't go. Oh, there's things that are I've got things jumping around all over the place. Hang on a second.
Oh, you lost me.
I lost you on the. And this one. There we go. That was weird. All right. Well, we're
Oh,
recording.
yep, there I
on
am. Where are
Skype.
you now?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. All righto. There we go. Cool. Well, let's see if we can make this work. So we think we're recording.
Yeah, looks like we are.
All right.
Yeah.
All right then. Here we go. In 3, 2, and 1. Hello and welcome to 100 Not Out, a weekly show dedicated to helping you master the art of aging well. Marcus Pearce here with you for episode 505. And as always, I'm doing it with Australia's #1 wellness expert. This guy loves aging gracefully more than anyone else. He is Dr. Damien Christoph. How are you, brother?
Hello, brother. Great to be here with you again. I do love aging. I'm aging happily, I've got to tell you. I did a great seminar the other day. Big shout out to Yarra Valley City Council. And the oldies, what were they called? The Senior Citizens Club, I think, of the region up in the Yarra Valley Ranges. Did a great little chat on aging gracefully up there. They loved it. So big shout out to them.
I loved it. I loved it. So you felt like you're in good speaking form. You're in good nick. You're delivering the message better than ever.
Just sharing some stories, a lot of my mate Marcus said this, that sort of story,
Well, I do know that you had a few people come up to you and say, I want to come to Ikaria with you. So it would be remiss of me not to mention that this episode of 100 Not Out proudly brought to you by our 2023 Greek Island Longevity Experience to Ikaria. It is June 12 to 21 in 2023. All the information is at www.100notout.com. You can apply and you can check out everything there, the videos from past trips and everything else. 100notout.com for our 2023 longevity experience. Now, Damo, there's a really cutting article that came out just 48 hours ago from, I know you and I don't mix too much in the celebrity news of the world, but regardless of who this comes from, I think the conversation is so pertinent. It is from Julia Fox, who some people will know as Kanye West's ex. She's also an actress. If you've ever seen a movie called Uncut Gems, Julia Fox is the actress in there. She's done a number of things in her life, but that's not really that important. What is important is that at the age of 32, Julia Fox has come out and slammed the anti-aging campaigns that she feels like she is being inundated with. In the words of Julia Fox, if I see another product that says anti-aging on the label, I am suing. I am going to sue. I'm going to sue because I'm going to age regardless of if I put on the effing $500 serum on my face, and you all effing know it and we know it. So let's stop lying to ourselves. She goes on to say, getting old is effing hot. Okay, it is sexy. It is probably the sexiest time in life, actually, because being pretty and hot in your 20s is the effing trenches, and I'm not going back there. I would say to Julia Fox, touche, and good on you for coming out and outing an industry that is preying on your insecurities and just stripping your purse or wallet bare of whatever's in there in the hope and lure that maybe you would anti-age, whatever that is.
Yeah, here. Well, absolutely. And yesterday I was having a discussion with Emma from Vita Lifestyles, and she was saying, no, not Emma, Amy, and she was saying that the dad bod is in. So I was like, all right, bring it on. She's like, yeah, dad bod all the way. Like the chicks are digging the dad bod. So I was like, okay, all right. So now that Julia Fox has said this, I'm starting to believe it. But well, it is it's a great point. It's a great point, isn't it? Like at the end of the day, anti-aging makes no sense because you can't turn back the clock. We're all aging. That's always happening. And I think what it's meant to make you feel like it's going to do is it's going to keep you looking young, but that doesn't work either. Like, and when people go and have stuff done to their face and, plastic surgery and all that sort of stuff, it doesn't make you look younger. It just makes you look like a different version of you. So it's just a strange thing. So they're definitely preying on insecurities. Nobody really, nobody really necessarily feels 100% comfortable with the way their body changes immediately. You know what I mean? Like it takes some time to kind of grow into your skin. Like you, even as you get older, and she alludes to this, she says it's the trenches when you're in your 20s and you're pretty. I don't know about that because I was never pretty at 20, but she said it was like when you're pretty and you're 20, you're in the trenches. Must have been so tough for her, and so she's now
got. But can you understand what she's saying? I completely understand.
I get it. But
she had friends commit suicide when they were 19 because that pressure to look a certain way.
So that's where I'm going, and so she's saying that the pressure isn't fun, but also like as you're growing up, like you're looking at all these things, and yes, you might be good looking retrospectively. You kind of go, yeah, gee, I look really good back then. And we were saying this, I think, last week or the week before. I'm better looking now than what I will be in 10 years' time. Like in your own mind, that's how you're going to see yourself, right? So, but you grow into your aging, and the more comfortable you are with aging, the better you'll go mentally from an aging perspective as well.
And I think, listening to you talk, it's like, it's interesting because I wrote down that you spoke about people that really invest and consume, anti-aging products. I wrote down that what we ended up doing in society anyway is we make fun of older people that have plastic surgery or that buy anti-aging products and it goes wrong. I mean, clickbait is everywhere with like, check out what happened to this person essentially when they, bought this anti-aging product, whether it was some type of surgery or something. And as you said, they look like a different version of themselves rather than, I would say, probably a more natural version of themselves. And
True.
It's almost like a can't win scenario. You're being marketed to be a part of an industry, and then you be a part of that industry and you get made fun of for looking like something that isn't quite natural. So it's it really does make you. I was actually happy that someone that's 32 is feeling this.
Yeah.
Because we started this podcast when you were 39. I was however old. But
21.
We often think of anti-aging being something that's probably marketed to largely women in their, let's say, 45 to 65, where they're really beginning to kind of question their looks, and it's not right, for want of a better term. I can totally see why it works as a business, but it reminds me a bit of what Dan Buettner talks about with the fitness industry. It's like, it's not right. It sells a lot of memberships, but only 25% of the people love exercising. It's like, whatever happened to gardening and dancing and swimming and going for a walk with your friends, those things that are free, but you don't guilt yourself into buying memberships. It feels like this. We guilt ourselves into buying the serum, but it doesn't really bring us any joy.
I got to tell this story. Through COVID, we were doing lots of walking, like Karen, through Brighton, and we were walking all the way through, and we decided one day to take the Bay Trail. And so we're going down the Bay Trail, heading down towards Brighton Baths. And as we're walking down towards Brighton Baths, we see this young bloke in front of us. We go, he looks pretty fit. And as he's getting closer and closer, I realise that it's actually the CEO of L'Oreal Australia. And I go, Rodrigo. And he looks over and goes, Damien. And Amber's walking over and go, oh, Rodrigo, we have all cuddles and stuff. We break our COVID. We actually hugged somebody. We took our mask off as well. I feel safe that I can say this now because we're out of that. I go, mate, you're looking so good. He goes, you won't believe it. I go, tell me. He goes, I'm using about, I don't know, maybe it's 8 or 9 different products per day. I go, really? He goes, yeah. And I go, mate, you look fantastic. I went and bought those 8 or 9 products. I have to tell you, I went and bought those 8 or 9 products. I bought them all. I've got them. And they're still in my cupboard. Like, I haven't used them. So I used them for a few days, thought, am I looking any younger? I wasn't. And it takes discipline. But he did look good. And he probably still looks good too, Rodrigo. Well done. But it's contagious. Like, it's very alluring. It's very exciting to think that you can get your youth back with some serums, I have to tell you. And when the CEO of the company is wearing it and he looks $1 million and he's a couple of years older than you, you go, I could look that good. And it doesn't always work. Maybe he just naturally looks that good. I'd forgotten. But that's what happened. That's what happened to me. I got sucked in and I bought it.
This is the perfect story, though, because like you said, no one's immune to it. And this is not a game of judgment and shame on anyone that's bought a serum or 8 or 9 products. This is actually welcome to being a human being. Like this is it. This is something that we're working with all the time, and I love the fact that you've said this, because it actually just is a great reminder that just because we know that it exists doesn't mean that we instantly flick it away and that we don't have those thoughts or those inclinations. But it's also, from what you and I learn a lot about with the people that we interview, is that from our perspective, well, I can't speak for you, but I'd be really probably thinking I'm onto it here, is that longevity, or the quality longevity that we talk about on 100 Not Out, is an inside-out job, not an outside-in job.
True.
It doesn't really matter what type of skin you have on your face and how many wrinkles you have on your forehead, and what your if your eyebrows droop or whatever it is that they get done around the eyes, and
eyelids, it's
tuck
eyelids.
here and all of that. Like, that's not longevity. That probably is probably quote unquote anti-aging, because they're trying to do things that have happened to you as you're aging, and they're trying to do things that looked good in when you were 20 or 30 or whatever it was. But it doesn't mean that they're good people or bad people or anything. It's just so important to recognize, as Julia Fox said at the age of 32, that it's happening, people. Aging is happening.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
no matter
right.
what you call the industry, we are all aging.
You know what? You know, when you get to a new decade, you kind of go, oh, yeah, well, 40's the new 30 or 40's the new 20.
Yeah,
And, I'm about to approach 50. 50's the new 30. And so that's sort of how I'm feeling. It was nice to hear Julia say that as we age, it's the sexiest time of your life, which I really love. Because one thing that I've been very mindful of, and I'm speaking on my behalf, is that I'm very mindful of maintaining muscle mass as I get older. Because I've noticed that the one thing that you find harder to maintain and retain is your muscle mass as you do get older. So if you lose it, it's very hard to get it back on. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, as I'm approaching 50, I'm actually heading into the last year before 50, and a couple of actually by the time this goes to air, I'm in my last year before 50. And
it's the cycle of 7. That's one of our future episodes. We're not doing it until you're 49.
Okay.
And you feel that cycle of 7 wind upon your soul.
Does 7 go into 49?
Yeah, 7 sevens. What?
That's a get. That was a good get. That was a good get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Anyway.
I'm so gullible.
Yeah. Oh, this is anyway. So, but anyway, there's a few things that I think are worthwhile being mindful of, but it's not going to be cosmetic in terms of what it is that you want to achieve. So, for me, I'm trying to maintain. I'm still trying to maintain muscle mass, which I think is really important. So, that's not easy either. Let me tell you, it's not just about taking a protein shake. You've got to keep on exercising.
Oh, you've done it. I am concerned, as I mentioned on a previous episode, that I have lost a significant amount of muscle mass that I do want to get back, and I'm owning how difficult that's going to be, but I'm determined to do it. And we've had a number of guests on here demonstrate that it can be done. There's plenty of great examples. China's hottest grandpa, Wang Daishun, didn't hop into the gym until he was 50.
Yeah.
We interviewed Sister Madonna Buddha, who started
Yeah.
running when she was 48, and then cycling and swimming, after that, to become the oldest woman in human history to do the Ironman triathlon.
Yeah.
So that's a really good point, is that, anti-aging is not a thing. We are all aging, but one of the biggest factors is muscle mass. And it sounds very material, but it's not. It's the vitality that it gives you to then carry on every other area of your life with a force of nature that other people do not have. And I think what you were saying on the previous episode, Damo, is that you see that you see a lot of people that don't have that vitality, and at the same age as you and maybe younger.
Yeah.
And it just drives you even harder to maintain that strength that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of effects. If your muscles aren't there, then you're relying a lot more on hormones, to metabolize and to maintain metabolism, and that will cause other things to happen in the body. So let's say, for example, your muscles aren't as good as what they should be. Then your metabolism is absolutely dependent on the thyroid gland and insulin, secretion. And if that goes a little bit haywire, or you start to crave a little bit of ice cream after your dinner at night time, and you get stuck into that every single night, and you've got a glass of wine, and all of a sudden you've got an extra 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 pounds on the belly, it's very difficult to turn that back. And at the same time, your thyroid gland's trying to fix things up because you've let things go. That's going to affect your sleep, and that's not ideal. And when you affect your sleep, you're affecting your heart because your oxygen saturation is not as good. And so there's so many things that happen as a result of aging ungracefully that you want to make sure you're aging well. So keep your muscles on. That's important.
This has been great. There's some great comments here in the Facebook thread. If you don't catch us on Facebook, you're welcome to join us at 100 Not Out on Facebook. We go live at random times, often on a Wednesday afternoon. But we've had Heidi says, you have aged well, Damo. Well done.
Thank you, Heidi.
Heidi also said, I love Wendy Nielsen, I think she was saying. She has aged, gone grey, and no Botox.
Wendy Nielsen, I watch her too.
Nielsen.
She's doing a great job. Yeah. Unreal. Amazing.
And there's a few people that go down that path. It's courageous. It's beautiful. It's so natural. Heidi Binder says 51. I still feel like 20 still.
Yeah.
Don't you love that?
I do.
That is so good. That is so good. So good stuff in there. This is a conversation that I think will stimulate a lot of people's thoughts around what it takes to age well, and are we buying into anti-aging? And I think, as Damo shared so beautifully, we're all going to dabble. Like, don't be afraid of dabbling and playing and thinking and pondering. But if it's dominating your thoughts and your psyches, and you find that it's creating a level of guilt or shame, or trying to turn back the clock, and for what reason, but don't be afraid. I always remember, Damo, Charles Euster, who's no longer with us, but he was the fastest Englishman over 95 years of age, over 200 meters. He was a dentist, you may remember.
Yeah.
And he did a great TED talk, and he was speaking about, I think he mentioned this with us, but it might have been on his TED or both. Like, he's incredibly vain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he likes to look in the mirror and go, like, how do I present today? Mm-hmm. And this was, again, a dentist who then started, doing bodybuilding, and he was very concerned with sarcopenia and that muscle atrophy and all the rest of it.
Yep.
And he wanted that vitality. And for him, it was looking in the mirror. There's nothing wrong with looking in the mirror and either wanting to improve what you see or really loving what you see and wanting to maintain it. Like, it's a great accountability tool. No hiding behind it. So loved it. Thanks, Damo. This has been a cracker.
Yeah, I love it too, PC. I had one more thing. I watched Top Gun again the other night, like the new one.
Yeah.
And like, isn't Tom Cruise in good shape for his age? He's 60, right? He's 60.
You cannot deny how good a shape he's in. Yeah.
Hasn't he done a great job? And again, like, I don't know if he's had any work done on his face. I think he had his nose made a bit smaller. But apart from that, which was a bit of rhinoplasty back in his probably 30s when he was in the trenches, it would have been tough for him. He is looking great, and good on him. And I think it's a great little bit of inspiration that we can continue to keep ourselves in great shape. So thanks, Tom. Thank you, Tom, buddy.
You really
mate,
love
pal.
that trenches one. Oh, yeah. That's going to stick.
Yeah.
Oh,
he would have been struggling in the trenches too, because I think it was would have been Nicole Kidman back then in his 30s, I reckon. It's tough. Really tough.
This has been another cracking edition of 100 Not Out, if I do say so myself. Damo's in great form. Thank you to Julia Fox for stimulating this conversation.
Yes.
It's been an absolute doozy. For more on Damo and his wisdom, head on over to DamienChristoff.com. That's one F, no E's in Damien, myself, Marcus Pearce, no I's in my surname, and it's spelt with a C. Damos.com, I'm .com.au, but if you want to get confused, head on over to 100notout.com.
That's easy.
And that's 100notout.com. If you want to join us on Facebook, you got to spell it all out, no numbers. But no, I'll wrap it up now. This has been fun. As always, continue to make the rest of your life the best of your life. See you next week.
Bye for now. Hang on, let me push stop on that recording.
Good.
How about
It's been
that,
a nice
Facebook?
little Facebook session. Thank you to everyone that joined us.
Yeah, thank you, Facebook. Thank you.
We
Annette
do
Morgan,
have
there was
another
quite a few
podcast.
people there, actually. I was just saying, because Heather McCullum was watching, Annette Morgan gave us a little clap, which is great. Julie Jacques was watching.
Stewart.
Jenny Andrews was watching.
I wonder if Julie's Jacks or Jakes. Jenny Andrews. Gosh, I haven't seen Jenny for yonks.
Yeah, I know.
Our little Ikaria alumni.
Yeah, Ben Shute, he was on. He was watching. Cara, obviously we know Cara was there. So there was a lot of people watching today. Thanks, everybody. I
love that.
Floats my boat. You know me. I need a good rub on my belly.
He's a happy boy. He's a happy boy.
I am.
Good. Thanks, everybody, for making Damo smile brighter today.
Yeah, totally. All right.
We've got to get running. We've got to exit Facebook land.
Yeah. See you later, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Catch you later.
We're going to say farewell. Mwah.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Facey.